What's going on, One Coalition? Back again. This Saturday, I had the pleasure of interviewing the remarkable sister, the pen and paper off of Twitter. Um, I became aware of this sister when I was watching Twitter Spaces one day, and it kept coming up saying that Tariq Nasheed gets roasted. He gets roasted, and I was like, hold on, let me check this out. So I reached out to her, and she blessed me with an interview because I wanted to give people insight on her. Like, she's a powerful sister. I would say she's a revolutionary, but I have to leave that to her to tell you all. But y'all stay tuned, for this content right here. She's about to let you know everything about her and who she fights for and what she's all about. Check it out. Going on, One Coalition. I have here today with me pen and paper off of Twitter. Some of y'all probably familiar with her going in on Tariq Nasheed, and that really made my day when I heard her having on closed mouth shut. So I'm gonna let her introduce herself to you all and give her background.
Hey, thank you for having me on. Yeah, I go by pen and paper on Twitter. Mostly my background, I'm a Pan-African, and I'm also a communist, full disclosure. Mostly what I do is I work in the community initiatives for the liberation of Black people globally, as well, of course. I'm mostly stationed in Texas, but I travel across the Gulf Coast, helping different initiatives get off the ground, anywhere from community self-defense, food sovereignty, alternative energy programs, creating solar panels in different cities and doing classes to teach people about those things, as well as currently, I just came back from Jackson, Mississippi, which was a really good learning experience because there, people don't know there's an ongoing water crisis, not unique to Jackson because as we all know that a lot of cities around, especially majority Black cities around the nation is suffering from water crisis. What's unique to Jackson is that theirs hit crisis level when their water plant went out along with having infrastructure issues, which made it so where they couldn't drink the water. It was highly toxic. It was coming out of people's faucets, thick, brown, and along with the water treatment plant having issues, there was also a sewage problem. So the sewage was backing up into the drinking water system as far as your homes. So just imagine turning on your bath water and just pure sewage coming out. And that's what the people of Jackson were dealing with. Their resilience, of course, if y'all know the history of Jackson, if not, I encourage people to go to the website cooperationjackson.org. There's a lot of resource material about not only the resilience of the people of Jackson, but how they approach these problems because this water issue is over 60 years old. So there we discussed like alternative water systems. There was a guy out there who has a atmospheric water generator. There's a assisted living facility who actually asked for it. So I got the opportunity to go down there and see how it works and to measure if that's like a viable initiative we should start. Currently working on that with other people. So yeah. Oh, also too, if I can follow it up with another cause that I want people to keep their eye on and do what you can to help participate and spread the word about is there's an ongoing prison strikes by the prisoners locked up in Alabama prisons. So far, the last update I've gotten, they have a list of demands. And if you go, I will forward the list of demands to you if, in your DM so that you can share it later on.
Okay.
But as we all know, I'm a prison abolitionist also, but as we all should know is that prison is just legalized slavery.
Right.
And the majority of us as Black people are the targets of that slavery and that exploitation. And what happens is a lot of our brothers and sisters and children who are locked up are oftentimes there for nonviolent offenses, but because of indoctrination under the system of white supremacy, we're taught to look at each other as criminals and oftentimes just inherently violent criminals, which is not true.
Right.
They use that as a gateway to be able to subject us to violating our human rights behind bars, as well as exploiting us for companies like Levi, Victoria's Secrets, and even some of the food in your grocery store, especially if you live in Louisiana, where the prisoners there are forced to, plant and, get some of the produce that you pick up in the grocery store for free, completely exploited, or pennies on like a day.
Mm-hmm.
So the prisoners, very well educated and politically educated and following in the long line of tradition of prison uprisings, have decided to combat this. Now they're being faced with harsh punishments and blowback from the CEOs and the prison officials by their food is being restricted, so they're not getting the proper nutrients, even worse than before. A lot of them don't have access to plumbing and running water. So some of the pictures I'll send you would be them some people laying in their own feces, having feces accumulate on the floor and on their person. There's a brother in particular who he was there for a month and lost 75 pounds after a procedure that was done to him, along with it's like medical malpractice, and he's dying now, and his family is not allowed to get to him.
That's crazy.
Just so many stories and heartbreaks sometimes where our lives, the way we're constantly exploited, even on our regular ass jobs, and the cost of living going up, we do tend to forget our brothers and sisters who are locked up behind enemy lines, which is the prison system. And I just ask that we pay just a little bit attention out of our day and just remember them and help them in any way we can.
That's right. I totally agree with that. That's great. So how did you how long have you been on Twitter?
I think I signed up I have to look, I think it's 2019, maybe a little earlier. I just haven't really been active on it. I, like many of us, like organizers, we underestimate the power of Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
It's a useful tool, and so I'm very late in the game. And so I think I came around, I don't really remember. I started doing spaces, like joining spaces with people they were other Pan-Africanists. Right. And a person named Adam, actually. It was this whole weird diaspora war that was going on because of the Tariq Nasheed, Yvette Carnels and all that. Mm-hmm. And one guy I was in a space giving them facts about U.S. imperialism, how they destabilize other countries, and that is why you get an influx of people coming over because their resources have been stolen and their countries destabilized by the American industrial complex. Right. So we have to look at the totality of things. So they're also victims of white supremacy. And I'm talking this, and it's in regular spaces, and I don't think they're supposed to be serious. Well, one of the guys was like, you're not too serious, and he was like, there's another group of people who align with you, and they're Pan-Africanists, and then that's how I ended up in the spaces with Pan-Africanists, and from there we just all began to build and connect, and I think that was since March.
And that's what's up, though, right there. So I heard you going at Tariq Nasheed because my channel is pretty much trying to bring awareness to the separation that people like him are trying to cause amongst us. Because we are all Africans at the end of the day. Now they're coming with this stuff that's saying that we are Native Americans and all of this. It's just grifters making up stuff. So how did that come about when you had the conversation with that dude?
So I was in a listening section, and I kind of know or have a little knowledge of the speakers who were talking. One of them was named Fifi, and she usually goes by Djibouti. Mm-hmm. And she was going in on him differently than how I would, but I respected it because I was just I know who that guy is and what he's about, talking about Tariq Nasheed. He deserves it. He does the same exact thing, even to his quote unquote fans. Right. So she's going in, and I'm just yeah. But then I'm noticing the host is cutting her off and kind of trying to cater and placate to Tariq. Mm-hmm. So that sent my spidey senses off. I was something's not right here. That doesn't make any sense. Why would this guy be doing that? Mm-hmm. So Fifi did her thing. I requested a mic. Luckily, one of the speakers, North, asked Kabas to give me the mic, and it just went from there.
That guy, something else. Full of contradictions. That's all I do. I take his contradictions and show it to his people. And it's crazy how his followers are puppets. I've never seen anything like it before. They're under some kind of trance, brainwash. It's crazy.
Yeah. I've been trying to figure it out myself because, like you said, the contradictions are so blaring. Mm-hmm. The More Us app that people donated to and they still don't have. How is no one asking questions about this? His other Indiegogo campaigns promising different things he has not delivered on. Mm-mm. I think the most they got maybe would be how they donated to Hidden Colors and then had to pay for it. So he double dipped. And I'm just how are y'all okay with this? But whatever.
Right.
But
it's crazy. It's insane. The museum that they still waiting on. I think that was $1.8 million.
Sick.
It's crazy.
Sick.
Taken from the community and not giving back. It's crazy.
It's horrible. His mother-in-law, who had this charity going on in Haiti where she funneled money from Haitians.
Right.
Just sick shit.
That's where he learned it from. I think that's where he learned his grifting from her. Cause she's over there in Africa talking about she's doing all kind of things. Like, it's horrible. She has a whole like nonprofit organization out there in California that she pretty much takes from the community.
Gross. And the fact that that's allowed to happen, and I just need us to have just a little bit more fight, man, because that she shouldn't even be safe walking in our neighborhood. So
Right.
It's insane to me.
Right. It's horrible. It's horrible. Well, I appreciate your time. I just wanted to get you on here to explain what happened that day because it went viral. Like, as far as like with the community of people against Tariq Nasheed, it went viral. So I was like, let me reach out to her and see if she has anything to say to the people.
Yeah, actually, I would just like to say that Black people, yes, we are African. It's okay to be African.
Right.
Malcolm X taught us. We have so many great leaders who have taught us that do not wrap yourself in this fucking sadistic ass flag and false patriotism to a plantation that only seeks to exploit you and exploit your children and your children's children. It is okay in your spirit, in your bloodline, you're warriors. It is okay to stand up and fight against that shit. And it's also okay that if your kinfolk is doing something detrimental, dividing you and your people, to remove that parasite from your community and to do it as violently as possible.
Right.
It is okay and it's necessary.
That's right. You want to leave your Twitter up there or any other information people can contact you?
Well, I would like for people to please visit. It's www.cooperation, COOPERATION.org, Cooperation Jackson. On there, like I said, that they do more than just, help with the water crisis. They've been around for a while. They also do community land trusts. They do food sovereignty. They do alternative environmental solutions for environmental racist things that impact us. So I encourage y'all to go to that website, and also please look up the hashtag Alabama Prison Strikes. Our brothers are really fighting hard for their human rights, and they need our support on the outside. That's
right.
it.
Amen. Well, I appreciate you.